Building 21 is the mysterious new addition to DMZ, and in this video I'm going to be explaining everything about Building 21, including how to get there, how the building is going to work, and some of the secrets that are going to be within. There's a lot of questions, so let's start giving you answers. On your screen now is what the inside of Building 21 is going to look like. Building 21 is going to be in a separate location to the Al Mazrah map, and Infinity Ward have said it's up to players to figure out when it's live and how to get into it. And they are not trolling with that either. They say they have no plans to announce when it will go live, but at some point in the near future, it will just go live. Building 21 is described as a hyper dangerous new area, being a biological lab where only the strongest operators may survive, let alone access one of the deadliest areas of DMZ. With this great risk comes great reward. High tier contraband found throughout the building, especially in safes and special areas that require keycard access. With all this mystery surrounding Building 21 and when exactly it's going to come to DMZ, let's talk about how we'll actually be able to access Building 21. Building 21 will be on a completely separate map to Al Mazrah, and we know this for 100% fact, as when you deploy into DMZ now, you get the choice of choosing where to deploy, with the current options only being Al Mazrah. But for a brief amount of time when Season 1 Reloaded came out, the option to deploy to Building 21 was also there. As you can see from the text box, there is a lock next to Building 21, meaning it's currently not available. And there's an icon above the Building 21 text of a key card showing that the player currently has 0. Now, the way to actually access Building 21 once it goes live is you need to have a Building 21 key card. Now, you can currently find these in DMZ in a few different methods, but until Building 21 goes live, you can go ahead and start farming for these key cards so that once Building 21 does go live, you have a big supply of keys so you can go to Building 21 over and over again. Let's talk about the methods to get the Building 21 access card. The first and the easiest method I've found is to open rare weapon crates. As you see in this clip in room 302, I found the DRC Building 21 access card, with the description being a single-use access card for Building 21. Once you've found this key, you'll want to exfil with it so you can keep it in your stash of keys ready for when the building goes live. Some other methods of getting the key card is to search the supply drops that drop from SAM sites that shoot down the planes that fly over DMZ, although they don't always have the key card inside. And the same goes for when you have a public supply drop event happen in DMZ, and there's around 7 minutes left of the game before the gas will start coming in. Furthermore, another method to get Building 21 keycards is to kill the helo commander that spawns into a game of DMZ. Once you've taken out that chopper, it should drop a supply drop that has a chance of that access card. Now, not only do you need the access card to get into the building, but once we get in the building, there is going to be secret doors and rooms that require blue and red keycards. And you can also find these in DMZ via the same methods for the Building 21 keycard. Just like the days of Warzone Easter eggs, these are the same red and blue access cards that open the bunkers. Now, another thing we now know about Building 21 is that the AI is going to be significantly stronger than what is in Al Mazrah. And I know that's going to be pretty difficult to imagine already, but this is going to be filled with Shadow Company mercenaries, and we know that from the description of Building 21. So at the very least, expect this AI to be heavily armored. If after the Season 1 Reloaded update you've played DMZ and noticed how much more difficult the AI is, that's because Raven Software unintentionally updated the base AI difficulty across DMZ when they only intended it to be for a specific area. And I guarantee that specific area is for Building 21. So Shadow Company AI at 11 out of 10 difficulty sounds great, but we also know from a Twitter account called CodSploitz_images that Velikan from MW2 is going to be featured in Building 21. If you need a refresher, here is what Velikan looks like. He is a Shadow Company operator of the Allegiance faction, which was in MW 2019 and Warzone during Season 5. Now, to what capacity he could feature in Building 21, we just don't know yet. Some people assume that it could be Shadow Company's version of a Juggernaut. Velikan could easily be Building 21's version of the Chemist, a super strong AI that you need to take down and then extract with its case in order to unlock the Chimera weapon, as we know that the current methods to unlock it are via multiplayer or extracting out of Building 21 with this weapon. It could also be a boss fight in Building 21, who really knows? But despite Building 21 not even being live yet in the game, somehow hackers and data miners have managed to load themselves into the whole map and have posted footage online, which has since been removed by Activision for copyright reasons. Whilst I can't show you Building 21 gameplay, what you're seeing now is the closest thing to it. Clear inspiration from the developers on the very concept of Building 21, which is an area in Escape from Tarkov called the Lab, which is a secret underground lab facility which sounds very similar to what Building 21 is. just like with Building 21, the lab has several areas which require unique keys in order to access. There are several different floors to the labs, and it's very likely that Building 21 will also follow a very similar layout. Where in the labs, you need specific key cards in order to access certain rooms and areas of Building 21, and whenever an event of high importance happens inside the lab, an announcement is triggered. In Tarkov, there is an announcement for every extraction activation, but there are certain extraction locations which can have the announcement disabled inside an alarm system control panel room. By the sounds of it, Building 21 is going to follow a very similar pattern where there are going to be very specific extractions within this very tight contained building, which might also have the activation of extractions to be publicly announced so all players are aware of it. I've also seen some rumor and speculation online that Building 21 is going to have a massive focus on vertical combat, to the point where the extraction is going to take place in a vertical space. Rather than being in a completely open area like we see in Al Mazrah, the extraction area will be in a very tight contained space where I assume the extraction will send you upwards through to the top and out of the building. And imagine a scenario as if you're flying up through these different floors and there's real players on there watching that extraction take place, and they have eyes on everything, making that extraction team easy pickings. It's gonna be insane, but it goes without saying that this Building 21 area is gonna be a lot smaller than the overall Al Mazrah map, way smaller. So I expect the player count to be significantly less than what we currently have on Al Mazrah. If I had to guess, then maybe there would be like 15 players, so 5 teams of 3 can go in, making it a far more intimate experience where you're not going to be going up against a ton of players, but because it's so confined and small, you are more likely to come up against players more often, and with that increased difficult AI, it's going to be a very dangerous area to go to. But they promise that the loot from Building 21 is going to surpass anything that you've been able to find so far in Al Mazrah. So if you have any ideas on what that could be, maybe we're talking gold skulls, maybe even the 25 grand skulls, maybe even the addition of brand new, rare, valuable loot that cannot be found in Al Mazrah, completely brand new stuff that is unique to Building 21, that does not exist outside of Al Mazrah and has never been seen before, could be worth a lot of money in game. And you know that Building 21 is going to be difficult because with the new perk system, in order to keep that streak going of exfilling and getting new perks, you have to complete a contract in Al Mazrah. But in Building 21, all you need to do is just successfully exfil over and over and over again, which seems to suggest as well that there won't be contracts in Building 21. It will simply be a focus on PvP and PvE. If we are still comparing it to the labs in Escape from Tarkov, pretty much every main part of the lab requires some sort of key or action in order to access it. This could mean having to activate a panel on the wall in order to open up a door, or completing some sort of very short, simple puzzle to fully gain access. And it's so obvious that the developers have been inspired by the lab in Tarkov, so it'd be interesting to see how Building 21 differs in Call of Duty DMZ and what sort of rewards we'll be able to get from it. The moment Building 21 goes live, I'll be streaming it here on the channel, creating content, so to not miss out on that and everything DMZ, make sure to subscribe and like this video.